Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Krakenfall, and today we are going to be reacting to TotalXclipse. I'm going to say TotalXclipse. So today, we're going to be reacting to TotalXclipse's How to Avoid Burnout in Satisfactory Update 7. I am very interested in this video because I am a serial burnout victim, perpetrator, person that burns out a lot. I burn out a lot. Let's just say that. I'm the kind of person that has very high standards for how I do things, and that can be double-edged sword. I found out this year that I have ADHD, which I don't know that much about it, so I'm not going to be like preaching ADHD hacks or anything like that you see on, like, my algorithm's so broken right now on YouTube. It's showing me all these ADHD videos. Maybe that's why I burn out. I'm like doing stuff as best I can for as long as I can, until I just get so tired of doing it, I have to like take a break. It relates to video games because I do that in video games as well. I am highly prone to burning out in open world games like Satisfactory. Don't worry, I'm not burning out of Satisfactory on Satisfactory. I love this game, and I think I'm succeeding at not burning out, but I am afraid of it because I talked about Cyberpunk and how I got super burned out of it last video. I'm having a hard time thinking of all the games that I've played and burnt out and not finished because of it. I can admit I have beaten Skyrim only once. I mean, I have over 10 files in Skyrim across all the different platforms I've played on it, but I've only beat it once. And that was when I was like, no, I'm gonna beat this game. Then there's games like long RPGs like Final Fantasy VIII, I think I've never beat. I got to the last disc on PS2. Well, I played it on PS2, it's a PS1 game. And then there's the classic Ubisoft games, which have the giant map full of items and markers, and you've got to go in and unlock the towers to unlock the different regions. And it's like, my brain in that type of game just like tries to expand. If I'm having any amount of fun at all, I want to play this more. I want to just beat everything. I don't know. I try to be a completionist, even though I'm not. So I definitely, with Satisfactory, I feel like I've been stepping back and being, okay, do only the things that you want to do and sound fun to you. Don't do the things that, you know, I'm sorry if you're watching me play Satisfactory and you're like, why isn't he doing the math? Why isn't he perfectly calculating where, you know, putting in walls, perfectly calculating how his factory should be? Why aren't you using Satisfactory Calculator? You played this game for 400 hours. Well, the reason is because if I do that, it sets all of these requirements up for me that I want to fulfill, but my brain doesn't work that way. And so it makes it so that I will probably burn out, and I'm trying to avoid burning out. So bringing us back to TotalXclipse, I would like to know, how do I not burn out on Satisfactory so that I can avoid doing it? I mean, I think I know how I would burn out on Satisfactory, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Real quick, before we get started, if you haven't seen TotalXclipse's video here, please go watch it first on his channel. This is not the first place to watch it. We are here to react to it and discuss it. Let's make sure that TotalXclipse gets the views that he deserves. And with that said, let's go.
Hey guys, and welcome. Today, after being asked in stream many times, I thought it would be useful to talk about several ways in which you can avoid...
Wait a second, I have not seen any of TotalXclipse's builds. So I've been avoiding Satisfactory content in general. How-to videos, quick tips videos, all of those I've been avoiding because I just want to play Satisfactory as I will experience it. It's my first time playing, and I'm not going to play it perfect. I also want to explore my own ideas as I come up with them rather than replicating what someone else is going to do. So this will be interesting. This looks crazy good. He's got ramps. Now I'm thinking, let's make a highway system. That would be cool.
Several ways in which you can avoid burnout in Satisfactory. Now, firstly, and most importantly, we need to remember that Satisfactory is a game, and it shouldn't ever feel like you're being forced to play. Sometimes there is like an element of a labor of love in this game, and though this has been very much reduced by the presence of blueprints, it's not entirely removed from the game. And also with Update 7 out to the masses tomorrow, make sure to check out my top tips on blueprints. I'll put a link in the top right hand corner.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't played with blueprints yet.
But regardless of this labor of love, it shouldn't remove the fun aspect of the game. So if you see people building humongous factories, don't force yourself to do the same. Play the game how you want to, rather than how you feel you ought to. And yes, that does mean if you want to go chaotic and play like let's game it out, then by all means please do. That being said, I know a lot of you do want to tackle the larger building.
I'm sorry. Right there. That circle building's cool. I want to do that. I keep on wanting to do spherical designs, but it's really hard to do in vanilla. Is that a mod? Does anybody know if that's a mod? That being said, absolutely 100% agree with what TotalXclipse is saying. That's what I was talking about with those requirements. When you start setting requirements for yourself, that's a job, you know? Like a job is a place where you don't get to express yourself because you need to meet certain requirements. And if you are trying to make yourself appear a certain way or reach a certain goal for someone else, I mean, maybe not for someone else, maybe it's a goal that you seriously want, but if it becomes to the point where if you don't meet those requirements, then none of it means anything to you, that's like a job, you know? And video games are not jobs, which is why I don't like MMOs for the most part. I mean, once it gets to that point, I like that.
So that's fine, but if you do want to limit yourself from feeling overwhelmed to a point where you just want to give up, break down the larger builds into smaller bite-sized chunks. For example, you have a massive recycled plastics plant that we're doing here, which also has rubber and fuel, and that's going to be fueling a few hundred fuel generators. Don't try and do everything at once on the same day. Break it down into the first stage of oil refining, the plastic section, the rubber section, and then the fuel, and eventually the fuel generators, and just build one section at a time. And if it is a mind-bogglingly large build, then break that down into even smaller chunks. The last thing you want to do is overwhelm yourself. That is one of the main ways in which people do get burned out playing this game. Obviously, not everyone gets burnt out though from building larger factories. Getting burnt out could happen to anyone at any time. So if you do at any point feel like you're starting to get tired of the game, try to realize what it is that's tiring you from the game. Is it the constant placing of items or playing the same world? If you know the cause, you can work out the solution by swapping out your playstyle, for example. If you're tired of placing items over and over again, consider downloading a mod that will allow you to copy and paste much larger blueprints.
Okay.
Or if you're bored of playing the same world, start over. Or download some new mods to play with. You could even just change your playstyle. If you're sick of building long factory lines, how about just trying to focus on the decoration for once? Personally, for me, I do play a lot of Satisfactory, and I do this for countless hours each week. It's part of, well, it's my job now. And there have been times where I've started to get tired of the game, and it's been super important for me to...
You can merge train tracks? Are those on different levels? Or are they merged? That looks cool. Also, great use. This is TotalXclipse. I mean, I'm just the noob here, but I like how he's used the curved ramp. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting distracted so hard.
For me, my favorite tip for avoiding burnout is actually to try out a particular challenge or a new playthrough. Now, I feel that having a particular challenge in mind can actually force me to become much more creative within the rules, the settings of this challenge. And it can also make the game quite refreshing, hence why I've done both the 5x5 challenge and also the hardcore variant. And there are countless challenges that you can attempt, and you can create them yourself as well. That being said, if you stay to the end, I'll talk about some of the most popular challenges that may renew your interest in the game. Another great way to have more fun in the game is actually to play with friends. That's not always an option, but you can always find people to play with either through the Discord rooms, or should you wish, you can, for example, I have my Patreon. Those that are a member of a Patreon get access to my servers so that you can play with the community there. And there have been some absolutely incredible builds on that server. So for example, if you do want to see what they've done in the last playthrough, then I will place a link to that video up above in the right hand corner now. as it really is quite incredible what the community can do when they get together behind something. Sometimes though, changing the way you play Satisfactory just isn't enough. Sometimes we do have to have a break, and that's okay. That's why you'll see me playing Valheim or some other games on the channel from time to time. Jumping between games often allows you to have the break that you need in order to get excited about a new project. And if that's not the case, which sometimes it isn't, then you can go cold turkey. Don't feel afraid to do this. Just don't play Satisfactory for an update or maybe 2 updates, or wait until 1.0 and don't.
I've actually been able to take breaks from Satisfactory, and by breaks I mean like 4 or 5 days of not playing it, which is weird. I'm not usually able to do that with other games and pick it up. I feel like Satisfactory works so well with my brain. It's just like, it lets me do exactly what I want, and it makes it so convenient. Every time I try and describe this to people, they're like, yeah, it's called Satisfactory, duh. And I'm like, no, guys, you don't understand. It's so good. It works so well with my brain. But yeah, I've been able to put it down, pick it back up, and pick up right where I left off. Or even if I've forgotten what I was doing, like it's so easy to find a new goal that I want to do. Everything has been self-driven for this, and that's one of the most refreshing things about Satisfactory. That being said, I did play Valheim, and I got burnt out because I died a couple times across the world, and I lost all of my high-level picks, and it really sucked. I'm going to pick it up again at some point, but man, Valheim, it hurts so bad to die.
Don't feel bad about it. It doesn't mean that you're not part of the community anymore. You're still part of this, and the game's going to be there for you when you return to it. But those are all of my suggestions that I have in terms of avoiding burnout. Let me know in the comments below your favorite tip for helping you avoid burnout, but more importantly, if you have one that you'd recommend that I haven't covered, let me know in the comments below as well. And of course, don't forget to like and drop a subscribe if you haven't already. Now, as I did promise earlier, there are some challenge modes that you can have a go at to keep you entertained in Satisfactory. First and foremost, there's the no delete challenge. Once you've placed it, it can't be removed. So be very careful when you're playing this mode. It absolutely terrifies me. I wouldn't do it. I'll ever give it a go. There's also the 5x5 challenge and its variants, which I've told you I've played, I've done, I've enjoyed. You can find the rules to them on satisfactorytips.com. There's a
Signs for Lights is genius.
Below. And another thing that you can do is focus on building each factory within the blueprint designer. So this is a new challenge that I've just thought of.
I would do that.
But for example, here I've created an aluminium alclad sheet factory, and this is just the first rendition.
That is so compact.
Very clean, but I can get everything that I need from the very basic materials to producing aluminium alclad sheets in this 4x4 grid. So why not try doing something like that? Maybe make computers within the blueprint design from scratch.
Oh man,
computers. It's possible. Get creative with it. You could also, speaking of creative, do a creative playthrough using Pack Utility to do the creative
infinite resource mod.
Or you could maybe do a load balancers only playthrough. Or if you only ever play with load balancers, why not try it with manifolds? There's also the no foundation challenge, which sounds horrendous to me. Obviously,
I accidentally did the no foundation challenge until like my 70th hour. Or you could
create a world that can only run off coal power generators. So that's compacted coal or coal. Or the other option is maybe you want to play with just thermal generators. Of course, you'll have to go into creative mode and build them first and foremost. But it's certainly an interesting way in which you can bring a little bit of nuance to your Satisfactory playthrough. The world is at your fingertips. But guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, thank you to all of our amazing supporters. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.
Ciao for now. 100% agree with everything that TotalXclipse said. Do I have any ideas for burnout in Satisfactory? I think Total said them all that I would have done, which is don't feel pressured to play the game. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier about I don't perfectly calculate the system. I don't use foundations as much as I probably should. I don't make things all neat and tidy the first time because I feel like I will feel forced to play the game that way. if I set that as the standard. It's part of the reason I guess maybe my advice would be to people like me, set things up to work first and then make them work pretty. Because it is so much better to have something that works and is producing for me, to have it working in the background. I don't have to touch it. I don't have to think about it. It's working. That production line is working and building computers or crystal oscillators or, whatever those painful things to build take a long time in manual crafting, or you just can't manually craft it. It's nice to have those going along in the background. That's like one of the most satisfying things about Satisfactory, because I guess as I found out about ADHD is that, you don't get satisfaction from the completion of tasks necessarily. But if you can reduce the amount of things you have to worry about, but still make progress, for some reason that hits the dopamine for me. So that's why Tentacle Town exists. That's why Cyber Tentacle Town is starting to be a thing. If you've seen the streams, Let's Play isn't there yet. Yeah, and that's why I don't use foundations as much as I should. So sorry, chat. That's cool. I haven't seen any of other TotalXclipse's videos. I'm gonna have to take a look at more of his videos and his ideas for the builds. Like, you guys have been telling me to watch TotalXclipse, watch I'm Kibitz for ideas, and I've been pushing it off because I don't want ideas right now. I want to build my ideas, but maybe I might start building some of those. That factory he was building was really cool. I already got a couple ideas from watching this video, so that's cool. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. I'm just like reading off the list. Like and subscribe and bell for notifications. That does it, right? Anyway, that helps the video get seen, because I am totally off the algorithm now. If you're here watching this video, it's because you probably subscribed to me, and for that, I really thank you. If you aren't subscribed, though, feel free if you like the stuff I make. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.